Alright guys, so I'm here at the Hong Kong, or sorry, not the Hong Kong, but the Ningbo airport. And I'm about to head off to Hong Kong because I need to get my visa done. So I booked my hotel in Hong Kong for 3 days near the visa center in order to get all that stuff done. And so I've never been to Hong Kong before, so it's going to be pretty exciting. My plane takes off in just about an hour, and this kind of waiting area around the gate really doesn't have too many people. Let me flip the camera around so you can take a look. All right, so you can see, looks pretty normal overall. Looks pretty normal overall. But if you look around, overall, just that many people. And I think all these people are going to be going off to Hong Kong as well. And I've personally never been there before. But anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and I'll see you on the plane once I get on. All right, guys, so I'm on the plane right now. We're on the airline I've never been on it before. It's called China Eastern. So let me show you something just a bit more. Actually, you might be able to see it right behind me, but there's a lot of like this fog, steam type of stuff. It's not hot at all, but it's coming out of the plane. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe they're trying to humidify the plane or something. But yeah, here we are off to Hong Kong. So let me flip the camera and show you what I see on the plane as well. So you guys will see that there's a lot of this fog stuff coming out of the top. So I have no idea what that is, or what that's trying to do. I thought that you guys might find that a little bit interesting. Okay guys, so I am here at the hotel, and I've never been in a hotel quite like this one. It's clean, and it's not bad, but it's like, here, you'll see what I mean. Let me just flip this camera around really quick so you guys can see. So here we go, here's the wall right in front of me, and if I turn over here to the right, here, let me make things a little bigger. So, we have this right here, and this is exactly where I was sitting. We got a TV right in front of the bed, and it's a small little bit, as you can see. And then if I turn around, that of course is the hallway. And if I turn to the left, this is the bathroom, and that's the shower, and that is literally it, guys. That is literally it. That is the entire hotel. I've never been in a hotel this small in my life. So if you guys are a little bit claustrophobic, maybe you guys should, maybe not book a hotel like this. You know, since I'm only going to be here for like 3 days or 3 nights or something, it's not going to be too bad, just because, I got to go get my work visa processed here. But, man, I've never been in a hotel like this. It's so small, it's so tiny. It's clean, but it's small, I'll tell you guys that. But anyways, guys, it is now like what time? Let's take a look. It's 7:50 in the evening, And so, I took an Uber from the Hong Kong airport now over to this hotel. So now I need to go and get some food in my system. And why don't we go and explore kind of like the immediate area around Hong Kong? So I'll see you on the road, guys. All right, guys. So I am now out of the hotel and here in the outside here in Hong Kong. So now I get to step back and get to take a look at stuff. And man, I will tell you guys what, it is humid here, just like in Ningbo and in my dad's village in Chongqing. But I think a thing that's different about the vibe here is that everything feels so, I guess, congested or very, very tightly packed together. And I didn't know what to expect when I came here to Hong Kong. And don't get me wrong, it's really cool, but it's take a look around me. Everything's going to be really closely packed together. I think the general feel being in China is already shops and people already tend to be pretty close together just because, the Chinese population is so big. But I tend to forget Hong Kong has a ton of people on a tiny, tiny little island. So it's really interesting to see. In fact, here, let me go ahead and flip the camera so that you can see what I'm saying. Look how closely packed together everything is. Wow. And who knows, maybe not all of Hong Kong's like this, but at least, the area where my hotel is pretty similar. So that's kind of interesting to see. And let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you guys can see more of what I'm seeing. Interesting. But anyways, here, let's go ahead and look for some food. Alright guys, so of all the places I decided to choose to eat, I chose, it's right, Big M, so McDonald's right here. The one right down the street, you can get that sort. So you can see pretty standard normal McDonald's, really nothing too crazy. The menu also is actually relatively normal as well, but you'll see everything looks overall pretty normal. I haven't had fast food in a while, so might as well eat some of it. I'll go to the convenience store and I'll chill out. So I'll see you there. Alright guys, so we finished having some dinner at the good old McDonald's in Hong Kong, and the McDonald's of that one store here in Hong Kong, where at least close by to the hotel, it's pretty mid, guys. The fries were really floppy and weren't very fresh at all anymore. The nuggets were the chicken nuggets that I had here. It's the exact same deal. And the hamburger I had, or the cheeseburger, was kind of dry and everything. I have no idea what that McDonald's was doing, but oh well, guys. I came now out of the McDonald's just to kind of explore around. Walk around, up and down the road. I didn't want to go too far from the McDonald's since unfortunately my phone service isn't working here in Hong Kong. So if I'm lost, I can't GPS back here. But just walking at least a little bit around this area, man, guys, I was not expecting how congested and how tightly packed Hong Kong feels. It's absolutely crazy. It's don't get me wrong, the lights and everything are beautiful, and it's really cool too to see a lot of these lights around here. But man, if maybe it doesn't show up that well on camera, but if you're actually here, you'll see exactly what I mean. It kind of feels like, especially with a lot of these big skyscraper type of buildings all towering around you, it really feels like you're like boxed in. And you know, I'm not used to it, so it feels like uncomfortable for me. But hey, I'll only be here for 3 days, and you know, I can totally see this being someone else's vibe. But at least for me, I enjoy it more in Ningbo, in my little district in Zhenhai. You know, it might be quiet and you know, quiet and there's not much to do, but hey, that kind of suits my personality well. More of like I'm more of like a peace-loving kind of guy. But in the meantime, how about I, you know, go and take us back to the hotel? So we got quite a while to walk back here. Let me adjust the camera so that's easier for me. So let's go and walk down, see what's going on. And guys, like, really, I don't know how to explain it. I've never felt this way about anywhere I've been to so far, but man, it's like so closely packed together. Everything is like, you know, so kind of like claustrophobic. And if you guys have ever heard about like that one, like I think city in the 90s called Kowloon City, where everybody was like living super tightly packed in this like super condensed like a kind of mega building. Of course, that's like an extreme example, but man, everything's really packed tight together. I mean, maybe from a bottom angle it'll make more sense. Again, it doesn't really pick it up so much on camera, but when I zoom in, I guess it does. But imagine going everywhere, every street, and there are these huge type of, you know, skyscraper things, you know, closed in on you. It's really cool, don't get me wrong, and there are a lot of like really nice, cool shops, and it looks from like the price of stuff, they're not too expensive, because you know, they use the Hong Kong dollar here in Hong Kong, so not the Chinese RMB, and not obviously not the US dollar. There's actually a gym right there. It looks actually pretty nice and spacious actually on the inside. It looks like a fancy gym too. Soon guys, soon, someday, once my leg heals up fully, you know, I'll be back at it again for sure. But till then, I gotta wait for my leg to heal, gotta wait for my right shoulder, bicep tendonitis here to heal. So, man, this is like a really different kind of vibe, guys. I'll tell you what. And this is something that you'll see in, you know, like mainland China, but like you know, there's the like the American style like graffiti and stuff like that. The alleyway. It reminds me of like New York, kind of. It reminds me of New York. Wow. It's the thing is, I've been to like a big city like Shanghai as well, but Shanghai has like a different vibe. It doesn't feel for some reason as like enclosed, and I guess again it's probably because, you know, mainland China has a lot of people for sure, but still its landmass is also pretty big. And you know, even though most people are concentrated on the east coast of China, there's still like, you know, like a decent amount of space for people to spread out, especially if you go out, you know, into more of the suburbs in the country around there. So you can still spread people, you know, out pretty all right. But here in Hong Kong, I guess it's because the city is so small, since it's a tiny island, that, man, people, it's a different vibe, guys. Let me tell you that. It's like, here, let me flip the camera again. I know I'm flipping the camera over and over again, but like, man, it just feels like you're encased in these, like, you know, skyscrapers. And again, it kind of feels like very claustrophobic. And, you know, again, I could see this totally being somebody's vibe, but man, guys,
I'll tell you what, it's definitely something I've never experienced before, feeling like, you know, I'm encased by all these buildings. And again, on camera, it looks like, you know, more spacious. In person, it feels a lot more closed off as well, for sure. Another kind of like thing I've noticed immediately coming here to Hong Kong versus back in mainland China, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised by this, and I was kind of expecting it too. But man, there are actually quite a lot of foreigners and non-Chinese here. There are quite a lot of foreigners and non-Chinese, and thing is, most of the Hong Kongers and the people that are here too, it looks like they all know how to speak English, you know, as well. Maybe not like to my same level of fluency, or certainly not with like my you know, American accent, just because, you know, I was born and raised there. But, you know, still say stuff, they comprehend everything that you're saying, they can have a perfectly good conversation with you. It's a very interesting, you know, like kind of thing to experience. And of course, a lot of them can also speak Mandarin Chinese too. So they speak Cantonese, Mandarin, and English. So that is very, very impressive, guys. And at least here, it makes my life easy because, of course, I can speak English, you know, very fluently, my primary language, and then like my, not secondary language, but my 1.5 language, just because, you know, Mandarin is not my far off language from English, but it's not like, I'm not like a total foreigner when it comes to Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, but I'm at the same time not like a, you know, 100% like level as if somebody was born and raised in China either. But I can live just fine being in China for like, you know, 90% of everything that you need to do. 95% of everything you need to do. But if this around, it's like to see. Super fun to see. Look at that. Again, a couple of people just walked past me, but you know, they're foreigners, everything of that sort. Again, I've been to Shanghai before and also Beijing. Although I will say Beijing, it's been a long time since I've gone. But I'll tell you what, Hong Kong, it feels like, you know, a lot more congested. It's like, or not congested, it feels like very like squished in, and you have like, you're surrounded by all these skyscrapers. Cool to visit, I think, at least for me. My personality, if you like more like a peaceful vibe, you know, it's cool to visit and experience for sure. But me personally, if you like have like, you know, a good amount of space and everything like that, I definitely say that this would not be for you if you enjoy having, you know, a little bit of like, you know, feeling like the place is more open, etc. Also, comparatively, like, don't get me wrong, Hong Kong feels like, you know, it's not dirty by any means. It's, in fact, it's actually overall quite clean. But it kind of feels like, you know, older than the mainland right now. Like when I walk over, you know, when I go to like Shanghai, or if I go to like, you know, Ningbo or Xiamen. And I guess it's because, you know, mainland China is making so many, like, has been demolishing so much of their old stuff and building so much new stuff that a lot of it looks, you know, just really like, you know, clean and pristine. And again, don't get me wrong, Hong Kong is like, you know, it's actually pretty organized. Like, just take a look. We also have like, you know, pretty, like decent, you know, pretty, you know, very clean, modern stores, like everywhere. You look around. But it's, the mainland, I think, at least from the cities that I've been so far, overall still feels like it's still a little bit more like more modern, a little bit more new as well. But again, it's a very interesting vibe to see. Very interesting vibe to see. Of course, let me flip the camera again so you can see what. Again, you're constantly surrounded by these like high-rise kind of buildings, and I've never experienced something like this in my life. And check this out, guys. This is like the Five Guys right here. This right here is like Five Guys. Here's Five Guys. You see the sign Five Guys right there. But Five Guys, I don't think mainland China has any Five Guys. I don't think. Maybe I could be wrong. Like, I haven't seen any. I personally haven't seen any Five Guys in mainland China yet. But hey, maybe if I keep traveling around and looking around places, maybe that'll change. I think I walked a little bit further than I thought. I guess I got a little bit curious around here. And guys, I wish I could tell you how humid it is right now. Like, the actual temperature isn't that hot, but man, I am like, covered in sweat just because of how humid it is. It must be like 91% humidity or something when I checked the temperature. And man, I can tell you what, being a Texas native living in Dallas, it definitely gets hot there, but it's like a dry heat. So it's not like insufferable. So if you go into the shade, as soon as you step into the shade, even during the middle afternoon, you can like kind of sit there and you can still kind of like bear it. But here, nighttime, shade, no shade, man, it still feels hot. And it's just because of how thick the air is and how it gets to your skin and everything. So, and look at that, guys. It's just like, and you're just like surrounded by these kind of buildings. Kind of feels like a little bit better like right here, just because like right in front of me over there, there's like I think like a tennis or soccer field or something. Tennis field or soccer field or something like that. Some sort of sports thing. Okay, and look at that, like the British style like trolleys type of things. That's something that you don't ever see in mainland China. It's just because Hong Kong used to be a British colony, so that's so interesting to see. Look at those like British type of trolley type things. It's so interesting. And in the background right there, soccer fields, of course. Look at that, right? The British style like trolleys, and they're connected up to these kind of like wire things at the top. That's interesting. Yeah, Hong Kong definitely has like a lot more foreigners than in the mainland for some reason. Maybe it's because Hong Kong is easier for foreigners to get into, because I have American citizenship. I'm an American citizen with an American passport. So when I went to Hong Kong or got my ticket to go to Hong Kong, I didn't have to I don't have to get a visa or anything. I just need to buy a plane ticket and boop, I can go in as long as I bring my passport. And you can't do that apparently as a Chinese mainlander. So if you want to go into Hong Kong as a mainlander, you have to get a visa, like a tour visa or work visa or some kind of visa in order to get into Hong Kong. I just think that's pretty interesting. Of course, you have like this shop in the background here. Man, guys. It is congested. It's tightly packed. I did not expect that at all. And here, you can see this like kind of alley right here. It kind of has like, in a way, like China vibes, like maybe like China 10 years ago. Kind of has like some vibes of China 10 years ago, like when it was like a little bit older, but still you have like these really modern type of things too, or stores and everything too. But then you also have this like really all these insane high-rise buildings packed right next to each other so tightly. That's unlike anything that I've ever seen before at the same time. So it feels like familiar in a, because obviously it's like, like there's like a Chinese type of vibe to it, right? Because, of course the culture is Chinese, but at the same time, it's like this, amalgam of experiences and everything I've never felt before either, or experienced before either. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, guys, so let me show you how I get into the hotel. It's very interesting. All right, so here we go. In order to get into the hotel, I gotta go into this entrance right here. And we got quite a few steps of stairs. And Hong Kong is, I guess, so, has so many people living here, and you have to make use of the space so well that everything is really tightly packed together. It's absolutely crazy. And I gotta walk slow because of my knee. There's my room. Let me get the key and open up the door. And here we are. Back in our mini paradise. So this is where I will be, probably for the next, maybe like 3 days or so. Yeah? Maybe 2-3 days. We'll see how quick everything happens. And then I'll, once that visa finishes, I'm gonna go ahead and book a ticket back to Ningbo in mainland China. So, man. What's up, guys? But I'm officially here in Hong Kong. And, yeah. So, I'll see you guys, tomorrow when I wake up, and maybe we can do some exploring tomorrow after I go get the visa stuff sent, guys.